Personally, to be honest with you, I have mixed feelings about this. And there's no freaking way you'll be unless. But episode 4, I kind of want to refer to basically to this comment. This basically was said. Was not said in my video, but basically the video, the episode I was listening. If you pay attention to what I'm saying here, this is not for me, for somebody else. It says, why can I never get a never? Why can't never do a realistic shoujo AI romance where everyone is around, gone to, always like that, and some girl's interest in another girl, and it suddenly turns out, and every girl around them is also in love with the MC or a love interest, so they can have pointless rivalries such as and such. It's completely nonsense, but I should expect it since this is a comedy. But this stuff just moves so fast. I definitely do agree with the person basically what they said in the comment basically of the not my video, but basically the video basically where you leave a comment, like what's your thoughts and your opinions and stuff like that based on the episode. And I think it does make a really politically, it does make a really lot of good sense, because Rinko is pretty much a very popular girl, I would definitely say, basically around the school, because when you have like the most popular boy and the most popular girl basically in the school, excuse me a second, and when you basically have that, it can create a lot of controversy, and it really can. Take as for instance, basically as Naruto, the anime of Naruto, take as for Sasuke. Sasuke is pretty much one of the most popular boys, basically among the village. It means that he's pretty much the most likable guy, because you have Sakura, and then you also have I forgot the name. I think her name's Ino. Yeah, Ino, and her and Sakura and Ino pretty much are basically the rivals, because they want to go out. They want to have a chance to go out with Sasuke, because the reason why they want to go out with Sasuke because they think that they would have the chance to basically have the opportunity to go out with him. I've said this many times different before, and I want people to really understand here and stuff like that. If you're chasing after somebody who's beautiful or hot or whatever it is and stuff like that, you're wasting your time. That's all you're basically just doing. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do think and stuff like that, because they just want to look at people from the outside, but not from the inside and stuff like that, and basically stuff like that. And personally, what I think Rinku really did right here is something I never expected. But there's a problem with that, based with her character, that she's being somebody else that who she's really is not really basically how she's being. But I'm really kind of confused, because I really kind of wonder, like, what is her true potentials? What is she really actually trying to do? But I would definitely question Rinko and say like I would definitely say her like, well, if you really that in love with Mai, then you really should be with her. But if you really continue on just to being friends, then why would you say, yeah, I really like you, but then you go on and say like, yeah, I like Aski, whatever her name is, the girl with the brown hair. Which I think she's a better opportunity to me for the MC, to be in my own opinion and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I like Mai really a lot. I think that she's really basically a great, fantastic character. But the problem that I have with her is that she likes to push the issue way too much. But the problem is with Rinko is basically that Rinko has to be very, very careful about what she really says and what she really does and stuff like that. When she implements her feelings basically towards her friends, because that could really end up hurting her, and basically in the long run, that's not a good situation for whatsoever at all. Rinko has to think about the opportunities, what she really needs to decide. So she really needs to make up her mind and say like, do I want to end up with Aski or maybe with somebody else, or do I want to end up with Mai? Could that be that very good possibility? But here's something I kind of find interesting also as well too, and I think this is something to note, to be very cautious also as well too, and I think this is something that I'm still kind of confused, but it's also interesting also as well too, that Rinko instantly kissed Mai. There's a problem with that, and I personally want to say here is that the problem I have that basically about that, if you really are committed to really loving someone who you really love, you have to be committed to that. You can't just openly kiss somebody and just say like, yeah, hey, I really like him, we could just stay as just friends. That doesn't cut it. That's not the situation. That's not the situation. I don't like really watching an anime that has a battle royale when it comes to basically, let's say, take us for WWE, the King of the Crown or the Crown of the King or something like that. It's a battle royale, or like let's say like the Royal Rumble or something like that. You basically have like 30 other different men or women or something like that basically in the ring, not basically in the same ring, but they have their own different battle royale. So only one person can only win that battle royale. But when that one person wins that battle royale, that means they push their ticket that goes to WrestleMania. That means they get to end up taking on the opponent and win the champion, etc., etc., etc. But basically stuff like that. So I think the point what I'm trying to make here is basically that Riku has to decide who she really wants and who she really wants to be with, and stuff like that. But she really needs to understand here is that if she's going to confess to Asuki-san and also Mai-chan, that's a problematic situation, and I don't think that's a really very good situation for somebody to really put themselves really basically in. It's something where basically, if I basically had girls basically fight over me, I wouldn't tolerate it. I say no, I don't want to be in this situation because could you imagine yourself like you could be a bachelor or bachelorette? I'd probably lose my mind. I'll probably say, get me off the show. Like, no, it's like, I would personally say, like, basically, would I be favored and stuff like that doing that? No, because that's not who I am. I like to be who I really am. I like to be myself. That's what I really want to be. But I cannot imagine myself to be on a show like that. My family would probably go nuts, probably go crazy. James, you gotta go out with that girl. What about this girl? What about that girl? What about that? What about all those other different girls and stuff like that? And my family would be questioning me that and saying like, oh, she's the best opportunity, she's the right one for her, and stuff like that. I mean, to be honest with you, I think basically talking to your family is very important, and I think it really actually is, and basically stuff like that. Now let's go back to episode 3 with the slap scene and stuff like that. That part right there, I definitely do agree with what Rick really actually did, because she reacted basically that way, because the reason why she basically reacted basically that way, because that's an indication to me. I would have done the same thing if a guy would have done that to me. If my family was to walk in on me, I would have punched it. I would have punched the person and say like, hey, I don't like what you're doing. You're forcing this on me. This is not something I feel is basically right. I'm just using that as basically an example because I think Riku is deserved to have the right to do that. But some people will probably say, well, you shouldn't do that. I mean, friends don't do that and stuff like that. But think about what Rico says. Friends do get hurt. And sometimes that happens and stuff like that. But Mai does not want to forgive Rico because she really doesn't. But even though she ends up basically also as well too. But one thing I've also kind of find interesting also as well too is that Riku is basically, Mai, she doesn't want to see Riku cry and stuff like that. And I kind of find a problem with that and stuff like that. Like, if you're really in love with someone and stuff like that, and you have a wife or a guy, whatever it is, or anything like that, or your husband or whatever it is, and they start to cry, you have to give them comfort. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Sometimes it's okay saying like, yeah, I just want to hold my feelings away because I don't want that. But when I open up my eyes and I see like tears coming down my face, my wife or that person will probably hug me and say, James, it's okay. I love you. I still want to be with you. I still want to support you and stuff like that, and I still do. And sometimes my family will say, well, James, you're 43 years old, you're almost 44, you shouldn't cry. But sometimes it's okay to cry. Sometimes it is. There's nothing wrong with crying and stuff like that. I mean, I cry during movies and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think all of us do. I think all of us do cry during songs and stuff like that. So I think the point is basically that I want Mai to be confident in herself. Even though that she is, but I don't think that she's really not confident in herself. For one, she's young. For two, Rico is also young. And three, rushing to a relationship is not a very good thing. But if I was Rinku, she needs to be very careful about what she's going to do, because she's not going to end up hurting herself. She's also going to end up hurting her friends. That's not a good situation. That's a really bad situation. She really needs to think about that situation, because she really doesn't. She's really going to be in the world of hurt. And some of her friends are probably going to be saying, like, why did you do this? Why did you say those kind of things? Because if you're going to say something, you have to really mean it. And stuff like that. Because you can't have two ways. You can't have both ways. You can only have one. Just like I said before, Battle Royale. Only one person can win. Wherever that one person can win, they push their ticket and they have that opportunity to basically to win the grand prize or whatever it is basically stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, that's my opinion. That's what I definitely think. And I hope Rinku really, basically, she needs to decide what she needs to do. She does not need to rush into a relationship. And I definitely agree with the person with the comment when he says, I think that the pace is starting to go very fast. I think it really actually is. I don't think that's not a good situation to me, but I really don't like the feel that, I feel like the anime is being rushed. That's what I think. Feel free to disagree with me. But I think they're rushing to relationships way too fast. That's what I definitely think. That's not a good thing for an anime, especially for a manga. Except for that, even though I bought the manga, but I haven't gotten it yet. But I would definitely say, like, they really need to look at the situation and not to push the envelope so far. So I understand this is your basically kind of like anime and stuff like that. Sometimes you usually basically kissing just like that, or sometimes basic romance and stuff like that. So I think the point what I'm trying to say here is that I really don't want to see this anime be rushed, but I feel like it is. That's what it feels like to me. So I feel like they're forcing different elements of space and stuff like that, based with the characters and stuff like that. And I don't think that's not really a great thing. And I really highly anticipate. I really don't believe this anime is not going to be animated. I really don't think it's not. I don't see it really happening, because there's just going to be so much implications and stuff like that. But it's going to lead on to much more implications down the road and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they can slow down the pace with this anime, but not rushing into different opportunities and rushing into every different opportunities with the MC. Just end up being with this girl or that girl or whoever it is. They need to make the story much more structured, because if the story is not much more structured, then there's no point where the story is actually going to go. So that's what I definitely see. I do want to continue, but I still have problems with this anime and stuff like that. And I do agree with the person what he said right here down below, that he thinks that the pace is just going way too fast and it feels like it's a rush situation. I definitely agree with him. But I really am kind of wondering where things is going to go on from right here. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this anime review. Tell me what you guys think. You guys agree with me? Disagree with me? What you guys thoughts about Rinku? Do you think that she's rushing in and stuff like that? What do you think about she could have feelings for some a different person or whatever it may be or something like that? But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Okay, that's one day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please do comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Please stay safe and remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.